Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternating. We're serving good movies one bad movie at a time. I'm your host, film school dropout Robert Jarsinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer, Carrie Jarsinski. Today we're talking about our top 5 twists. But first, Care, what the heck happened with dinner tonight?
What part?
I don't know. Like,
I don't know what you mean.
Boy, it was a rough evening for our oldest Abby.
Yeah.
She had a tough night.
Can you tell by the size of the glass of my wine?
That is an indicator, yes.
Yeah, it's directly correlated.
Like, we have issues around dinner time, and I think part of it is she's 5.5. Naps are a thing of the past, so she's pushing through, and the nap is usually revitalizing.
Right.
And for me too. I mean, heck, I get recharged.
You did take a nap today.
I did take a little
Abby
bit
and
of a
I
nap.
pushed through,
and
but
see, look, I'm in good spirits. So, proving my point. But usually, like, around dinner time is kind of when things start falling off.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I fall off too. So I generally think of myself as being a relatively even-keeled person, despite what you may think. But I've lost it by the end of the day. Like at the point where
just all the whining kind of adds up.
You're literally spoon feeding a 5-year-old, and then I'm looking around the room and I'm like, where are we? How did we get here? That you're feeding a 5-year-old.
And I'm not gonna.
not to throw you out there.
No, that's fine. And I'm not doing this because they're an advertiser, but we've been doing Blue Apron for a while, and it seems they have no problems. They were chowing that.
What are you saying about my Indian food?
No, I'm not. So it is amusing that the foods that like all of these weird exotic foods,
like
delicious
vegetables,
foods.
These weird vegetables.
We had a fish sandwich with cabbage from Blue Apron last time, and Abby just chowed it down.
It was covered in bread. If it has starch around it,
but we did
eat
some other things. I mean, we've done a lot of Blue Apron lately, and the funny thing is when we're leading up to it, it's exciting to see. Like, we think there's no way they're going to eat these.
Yeah, what's the weirdest
foods.
thing that they've eaten from there? I can't even remember. There was
noodle bucalati.
Oh, the gnocchi with spinach.
The gnocchi with spinach. Like, everything's been going
And Abby
down.
doesn't do melted cheese anymore. God forbid the cheese is melted.
Cheese.
Yeah, what's wrong with my melted cheese?
So
she loves Blue Apron
funny.
melted cheese, but not my own.
But what's interesting is, like, she does like a Roger Ebert, 2 thumbs up, 2 thumbs down, depending on whether or not.
Sometimes I get a pity finger.
Yeah, you get like she rates your cooking. Like, she'll do a bite. And what's amusing to me is, I'll spoon feed her one of something she's never tried that you've created.
Yeah.
And everything, it always ends up with like a dry heave. Like,
right.
And she'll be like,
what is with that? So.
And then you'll be like, Abby, did you not like it? And she'll be like 2 thumbs up.
I loved it after she heaves a little bit. But you know what? I think that
every time.
My food's not that bad. I don't think my cooking is that bad.
No, you're a good cook. And
yeah,
what's been nice is, like, you've been prepping meals in advance. You made like 4 meals that will last us 1 week each. So you have like 4 weeks of food, sausage and peppers, and you made crab salad.
Right.
I'm very appreciative of it. I wish that we could get the girls on board with being appreciative.
Yeah. Well, another night. And until then, I'm just going to enjoy this 15-ounce glass of wine.
Very good. Well, how about we move to our worth mentioning segment? How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
What is worth mentioning of the movies we've seen since the last episode? Which are the ones we want to talk about most? They could be great movies. They could be terrible. We share them worst to first. How many movies, Care, since last week for you?
5.
5 for me as well, too. I'm right on my...
in 1 week I did that?
Yeah, that's impressive. But I've been kind of paying attention a little bit, which is rare for me, about things that you talk about.
Sure.
But your numbers have been well ahead. I don't know where I think you're going to be way ahead at the end of the year I know you set the bar low, but I've been very impressed with your movie watch.
Anyway.
So 5 movies, very good. Do you think there'll be any overlap?
Yeah.
I know one of them, I will be upfront, we know there will be overlap, was a Patreon subscriber, a patron of ours had requested a movie be watched, so.
All right, and that we don't talk about right now, right?
Nope.
Okay. So I guess the first one I'll talk about, excuse me, is Everybody Wants Some? Is that yours?
That's mine.
Is
We
it?
do have
So
overlap.
here's my thing about talking about it. It was available on Netflix. Did I watch this alone or did I watch this
No, we
with
watched
you?
it together.
Oh, yeah, right. Sure. You were almost there.
I think the girls were actually down for the rare
Oh,
combo
that's
nap.
what happened.
And you were like, let's party.
Party.
you prepped a beer for me. You got snacks. Like I was working on alternate ending stuff, and I was just in a kind of on my own and typing things up, and you just
Literally.
I got them both down. And then chips were there.
There
were
was
pita chips.
there was
dip.
beer.
Yeah.
There was our neighbor Billy and Brew's really good beer, and so we're like, oh, it's time for the special occasion beer. Like let's pull that out. So anyway, Everybody Wants Some, written and directed by Richard Linklater, stars Blake Jenner. Is that related to Bruce?
No relation.
No. Okay.
I did some digging.
Okay, just curious.
Handsome fellow.
You know, he's not bad.
Good looking
Not
guy.
bad. Tyler Hoechlin, Ryan Guzman, and Zoe. Is it Zoe Deutsch?
Yeah, there's a lot of more unfamiliar names. Young cast. Kurt Russell's son, I think, is in this as well too. Like it's a really talented cast of characters.
So yeah, it's supposed to take place in the 1980s, early 1980s. So like, feels a little bit more like the late 70s. A group of college baseball players navigate their way through the freedoms and responsibilities of unsupervised adulthood. This plot is the whole movie. What I just said to you is the entire movie.
There is no plot. There is
That's
no,
what I'm saying.
It's just this is again Richard Linklater. For those who don't know, is he just throws people together, and it's just like. It's like throwing up a camera in front of your daily life. Just it's a little bit more interesting, but there's no plot that's driving the movie forward.
Nothing's wild.
There's
Nothing's
nothing
crazy.
that needs to be
No.
resolved. It's just like
Yeah,
let's
that's what we
take them
said.
in
There's
one
no
situation to the
conflict
next.
ever.
Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking.
That being said, did you enjoy it?
So here's the thing. So it gets a 7.0 on IMDb. I wanted to talk about it, one, because it's free on Netflix. Two, because...
free on Amazon.
I'm sorry. Free on Amazon. Two, because while this isn't my favorite movie, I thought it was... I liked the nostalgia, the Sandlotness, the adult Sandlotness of it, like the feeling of the era. I do.
Feeling of the era, for sure. Yeah. In the midst of watching this movie, I'm like, hey, I think that's Blake Jenner, the guy from Edge of 17. And Kara's like, I'm positive it's not him. This movie is way too old to have him be in here. I'm like, Carrie, it's supposed to take place in the 80s. It's not actually made in the 80s.
I appreciate you
So
sharing
good job, Richard Linklater, for
really
fooling
harnessing the era.
Yeah.
I think he did a good job. He did a good job with like the cars were, kind of old, and the light. It was the lighting. It had a cast to it.
I wouldn't be surprised if I heard like the film stock or somehow in editing or post they got the grain in to make it look older. It did have a nice late 70s, early 80s.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
Probably going to be up for something for it. So
no,
he's not going to be up for something.
Because that ship has sailed. That was 2016.
All right. So he didn't win anything for it. Recommend it because it's free if you have Amazon Prime. What did you think of it?
No, I enjoyed it too. It's supposed to be kind of a spiritual sequel to Dazed and Confused, which does take place in the 70s. And it's also supposed to be Boyhood, a little bit of a sequel to that era. Not a sequel, but a continuation of, if you remember where they leave Boyhood, even though it's in a different era, like Boyhood has left him going off to college.
Right.
And like Linklater likes to tie things off a little bit. And if you know, everything is in Texas. Like he was born in Texas, so every one of his movies pretty much take place somehow
Felt very Texas.
related to Texas too.
Yeah.
But fun group of guys. Like I liked following along and learning about them.
I felt like I was a fly on the wall though. Like I'm just there.
And
just
a little
chilling.
bit. I mean, I was never in a frat. I know it's hard to believe, but the competitiveness on a baseball frat, like basically it's like a baseball frat is what this is. And they're an amusing bunch of characters.
Yeah.
And like right at the turn of the 70s where, drugs started becoming more kind of in vogue. And I think the drinking age was 18 or something in this movie. Just learning about yourself, this freshman coming on campus and trying to find himself. And he was just a cool guy. Like I liked hanging out with these people. Like they were people. I think you had even said like, this took me back to college.
That was my college experience.
Just
and you know what?
You're a bunch of frat guys.
I know. That was the best years of my life. No offense, but I also added to the. You know what I think did? It was like the full experience. I actually spilled a little beer on myself while we were watching the movie, which made me even more nostalgic because not only did I feel like I was there, but I smelled like college too. So,
well, very nice.
That said, I'd recommend it for some folks out there.
Yeah, you could do worse for sure, especially for free. So I definitely recommend checking it out on Amazon Prime. Next up for us, Tristan Frayling, patron, had this as their rec to us, a recommendation for us. So this is 1954's Rear Window. So I assume that's what you have to talk about next.
I thought it was the 1998 with Christopher Reeves, Rear Window.
Oh, you watched the wrong movie? No.
I did.
You did not? No.
No, do you like that I had that factoid?
That's good. That's a good fact. That's
thanks.
a great fact. And this has been remade in some fashion. I think Suburbia or something like that with Shia LaBeouf is kind of
has it?
Very similar kind of, I think that's what it's called. But Hour 52, IMDb gives it an 8.5. Rotten Tomatoes, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy smokes.
The number 40 movie according to IMDb. Directed by none other than Alfred Hitchcock, starring Jimmy Stewart, James Stewart, as he's known to his friends, Grace Kelly, and I bring up Thelma Ritter because
she was awesome.
She stole the show. She plays
Agreed.
the nurse, helping Jimmy Stewart, who was wheelchair bound. He's a wheelchair bound photographer, and
temporarily wheelchair bound.
Temporarily wheelchair bound. I think he's in his last week before his cast is supposed to come off, but he's been in a cast for about 7 weeks. Bored, hot summer New York, and what's funny is the whole setup is is Hitchcock designed an entire stage. I think your parents came over for a movie night. Mm-hmm. And I think neither of them had seen it, or maybe your dad had.
I think
and your
dad,
mom.
one of them had, but a long time ago, and they didn't really.
So it was
remember.
fun. We went down to we watched it in the basement, and it was fun watching it with them.
Yeah.
I really, despite I'm a little bit of an ageist when it comes to movies. Anything before 1980, I'm a little bit kind of put off by. But
put yourself out there, Rob.
Yeah, no, I appreciate Tristan opening us up to this otherwise movie that we would have passed over, and I found it amusing. And while the dialogue was, there were elements of it that hadn't, it's not as witty banter, but there was some wittiness, especially again
people were sarcastic in the 50s.
Some sarcasm, and Thelma Ritter, hilarious as the
really
nurse.
Funny.
I laughed out a bunch of times, and just good suspense as well.
My parents were loving it too, seeing it again and watching it. It was, it was really suspenseful, but yet, like you said, it takes place in such a small set.
He built like an apartment complex.
Yeah.
So that Miss Torso who's dancing across the way, the ballerina or whatever,
the toe toucher,
he basically kind of like lived there for.
That was pretty risque
for
the
a month.
times. Too.
They had working toilets. Yeah, it was very risque.
Yeah.
And like I can definitely, having seen other movies in the 1950s, the things that Hitchcock is doing with the camera is just. There's no one else even close.
Yeah.
Making the audience feel as though they are too voyeuristic in the way he's kind of going in and out from shots and things like that. So I really appreciated it. Made for $1 million, grossed $24 million.
Holy.
Nice return on investment there.
Yeah, I appreciated this recommendation because, like you said, never would have seen this, and I've seen some Hitchcock things before from my old Nick and Night days.
Oh, nice.
I know, but I had never seen this one, so I enjoyed it a lot.
You might have come across this in your research. I thought it was also interesting. Another nice thing for Hitchcock. You remember the scene where it starts downpouring and people are bringing in the people who are sleeping outside in the mattress? Apparently, Hitchcock gave them each character kind of differing, conflicting directions, and that's why they kind of bicker. And that made the fight. That's what he was hoping would happen. Is like, hey, no, you're supposed to do this, and
you lift this side.
Yeah, you lift this side. No, I'm supposed to go in this way. And so it created the moment that was captured on. I mean, it's little touches like that.
Yeah.
Apparently, I didn't know this, but Grace Kelly was a bit known for her promiscuity with leading men.
Interesting.
And Jimmy
anything work out with
Jay? Jay was married at the time, so his wife was not too happy that she was going to be
she is
his.
Quite the looker too.
Well, that was the other thing, is apparently everybody was just awestruck by her.
Yeah, I was.
When the camera wasn't rolling, it was just like everybody's just doe-eyed and like looking at her.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to say next,
Miss
Kelly?
She was like a little Barbie. She was so pretty. Yeah, and he was not too bad himself either. I think you said he was 54 when this was filmed, or in his 50s.
In his 50s or maybe late 40s even at the time. Yeah, I don't remember offhand, but yeah. Just it's one, like, if you're reluctant about going back and seeing some of the classics, like this one is worth checking out. Nominated for 4 Oscars, available for Amazon. You can click through our site for it for $2.99 streaming. Also, we had to send away for it. We were kind of in a bind and sent away for it and got it on Blu-ray or DVD. So yeah, great flick. Remember, you can find more details about all the movies we've watched at our site, alternateending.com. That's alternateending.com. Before we head to our break, we get asked a lot about ways to support the show. Direct from our website, you can head to our Patreon page, which provides you access to a ton of perks. You want us make us watch a movie like Tristan did, have Tim write a review for you, pick your episode, topic, or theme. You can do it all on our Patreon page, and slots are actually starting to fill up. We're about 1/8 towards our goal of being sustainable, thanks to all of our Patreon fans. So
recouping some of your
we're actually going to get out of the red, in 8 years at some point. So that'll be nice. So as mentioned, Tristan Frayling picked up our Critics' Choice Award, had us review Rear Window, and then in Tim's future, he has to review the movie Go. And then listener Leo E got back to us and grabbed the Sundance Jury Prize. Carrie, he has a choice for us. Should we watch Elle?
Elle, okay.
Or Hunt for the Wilder People?
Do I have to choose right now?
You do. Do you know anything about either one?
So Elle, I know Tim did a review of, and it had a lady with sunglasses.
Okay.
Seems less interesting, but I think it actually was highly rated.
So if it helps,
yeah, it does.
I agree.
Give me some info.
Hunt for the Wilder People apparently maybe a little Captain Fantastic-y. I don't know. I don't know if that sways you, but Elle is better well known. But I think I've heard people really.
We do both.
I've heard people enjoy both.
How about this?
Let's see both. And yeah.
Well, no, it's not even
what
I was
what
going to say.
Okay.
No, we were off there. You did not read
Sometimes
me.
we have we're locked in sometimes.
And then sometimes,
not right now.
No, we're not. So I was going to say, let me think about it. And then.
So it'll be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise.
Tune in next week.
Oh, no, I was going to. Oh, okay.
Again.
No.
Not
That's
locked in.
I was going to say I would let you know by the end of the show.
Okay. I'll forget to ask you, so that's good.
So if you forget to ask me, I'll tell you the next show.
Okay, sounds good.
Glad we're on the same page there.
Also, I want to thank all our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing it is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com, click on our Amazon banner, and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode, quite a few purchases. Here were the things that were purchased.
Okay.
We had someone doing a little hair curling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a curler?
Yeah, tourmaline. I don't know what that is. They say that about all the curling irons, that they have tourmaline in it, and I don't know what that means. Extension socket knob, 1/2 inch, was purchased. Mary Badesco glycolic eye cream. I didn't know they made that. I think that's like an acid. Why would you pour acid on your face?
I
on your
don't
eyes?
know. I have their face wash though.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Probably we've been doing like a little bit of a King Kong catch up. Tim's been doing a lot of reviews. Someone instant videoed Son of Kong, maybe to follow along with us, which
I love
was
when
nice.
people do that. That's always nice.
Some Betty Boop DVDs were purchased, and again, back to the King Kong theme. Amazon Instant Video King Kong was watched.
It's been a big Zilla Kong giant monster thing.
Yeah,
for Tim
Skull Island
on our reviews
coming up. I know he's
site.
been building up to kind of that particular review. Books purchased. Doctor Who. Have you ever caught an episode?
Show?
No, it's a book. Doctor Who.
I mean, is it modeled
based?
with
I think
show?
it is based on the show. Also, The Last Dragon Chronicles: The Fire Ascending. Some additional beauty products purchased. Badger Balm Anti-Bug Sunscreen SPF 34. Why the 34? Why not an even number? Or it's an even number, but why not end with the 0? What's if are you like you don't want to go 40?
You know I don't wear sunscreen.
Yeah, that's true. You don't.
Yeah.
But it's anti-bug sunscreen. Interesting. Could use that.
Yeah.
Some I didn't know they still made film, but Fujifilm Instax Mini Instant Film Twin Packs, like actual film for cameras.
I mean, I have my old Nikon.
It's interesting. This is a home decor item. I know you like that kind of stuff.
I do. Tell me.
This is a polished, antiqued, bronze-hued unicorn head candle holder.
I would love to know who purchased that.
Sweet.
I kind of want one.
I kind of want one too.
Cool.
This is cool. Cool luggage. Marvel. This is something I would have purchased. Marvel Comics emoji luggage pack. Also have some a women's scoop neck, slim cut, stretchy black dress. So maybe going out for the night. Some Boy Scout compass find their way. I've been impressed with our girls. They've been talking about directions lately. North, south, east, and west.
Unfortunately, our compass only goes north.
I'm seeing a theme. I think there might be a listener who's maybe going out on a trip, maybe a camping expedition.
Okay.
We also have Kangaroo's one-size elbow-length opera satin gloves. So yeah, again, this would probably match the dress. So maybe going out to a ball of some sort. This is interesting too. The New Age source Tibetan prayer flags pagan something.
Alrighty, that was me.
Not really sure what that is.
That was me. I'll tell you about it
Pop-up
later.
tent. This goes back to my camping idea. And then here we go. Let's see, a peacock Japanese, a kimono.
Sweet.
You know, I've always wanted to be the type of person who wears a robe.
Yeah.
But it just every time
I bought you that robe
I know,
once.
but I overheat.
Yeah.
So maybe a kimono is the right thing, like a silk kimono.
So you can open your kimono.
Robe. Oh my gosh, is that what you got for us?
Do people say that at your office?
Open.
I'm going to open the kimono.
No, that's
people
not.
Don't say
that's
that?
not the phrase.
It is.
No, that's not the phrase. I'm not going to open the kimono. It's not the business phrase that people say.
I swear to you, people say
I know,
it
but
at
that
my
is
work.
not. You're not saying it the right way. No one's saying I'm going to open.
Yeah, they do.
Hey, I'm going to open your kimono.
No, they say I'm going to open my. It means
That's not the way they say it. I'm telling you.
No, let me just explain. It's when you're trying to be. Sorry. When you're trying to be transparent about something,
I know.
You say,
I know what
hey,
you're trying
I'm
to
gonna
say.
open my kimono.
No, that's not how you say it, though. Please, someone with some business acumen, please do write in and correct Carrie on the way in which.
I feel like I've used. I'm going to open my kimono.
Perhaps this is the kimono purchaser will actually do that literally in a business setting. That would be amusing. Some mandrake root whole like health and personal care. I don't know what mandrake root. I'm sorry. Yeah, mandrake root is for. Also, one size elbow length red opera satin. So gloves, a lot of gloves. I've never worn fancy gloves. I know that's not like a men's thing to do, but like, have you ever worn fancy gloves?
I have not either. No.
And then a 3/4 sleeve crossover maxi. Dress wrap in teal. Thank you guys for all your purchases. That really does help us out quite a bit. When we get back, our top 5 movie twists. And welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 twists. And I probably should warn people at this point that, and you brought this up too as you were researching, the fact that if you know a movie has a twist, it already loses something.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
So I do want to warn, like, we're gonna probably spoil. Like, it is spoiling simply, I think, by the fact that the movies we announce here, people will know there's a twist. So I think you will lose something from that movie. And I think you had said this, some audience members had said it too, is like, once you know there's a twist, like, you're looking for it.
Yeah.
So I like, again, caution, proceed.
Maybe just turn
carefully.
it off.
Yeah. Well, not don't turn it off.
I mean,
don't turn it off.
Don't turn it off.
If you are an avid movie watcher, and I don't think my picks are going to be things that people. Well, there might be one.
Mine are oldies. A lot of them are oldies.
I think I went with. So that's what's going to ask you. Like, what was your criteria?
Okay. Per usual, I'll take this one. So my twist is, I had pretty strict criteria. So my twist is, there had to be something that suspended a true twist movie to me is something that suspends my disbelief in what what will happen at any stage. Like, maybe there can be multiple twists or whatever. But to me, it's, I have to, I thought about this earlier and I worded it really well in my head, but it's almost like a magic trick. My favorite.
Oh, that's so funny. You know what? I don't mean to interrupt, but like,
no, you're fine.
Sleight of hand is what I was thinking.
That's what I was just going to say.
Like, the director needed to do like sleight of hand on me. Like,
agreed.
Pointing me one way and I'm like in, and then all of a sudden, boom, just hits me.
And that's my thing. So there's different types of twists. One where I've seen other movies, and I'll kind of get to that a little bit, where the twist is the director lied to you. Something wasn't what it seemed. I showed you something that wasn't real, and then I changed the story, and that's the twist. And that almost bothers me. I'll tell you. I'll get to that.
Interesting. So now I don't know what you're saying.
No, you don't?
Yeah, no,
Can I use an example of a movie I didn't use?
Sure. Again, like I hopefully I've clarified that, like, we will likely be spoiling.
This is spoiler.
This is going to be spoilers.
But these are older movies that you've probably seen.
Yeah. Nothing on my list, like all of my lists are, I was going to go with picking movies that maybe people hadn't seen and bring some new ones.
Yeah, I know.
With
I
twists,
thought about
but then
that
I was
too.
like, man,
Got to go with the ones
like
I
gotta
love.
go. Well, I got to go with the ones that are truly the ones that I was like, you son of a bitch.
I didn't see it. I had to have not seen it coming. I didn't have.
Yeah.
You were waving your hand over here, and over here
Right.
something else was happening. Versus, and I'll explain a movie that I didn't pick.
Explain the nuance for me with, like, you're saying where the director
Okay,
lied, because it's like,
so
it's
here's
all
a spoiler.
lies.
So I'm going to talk about The Usual Suspects.
Okay.
I didn't include that on my list because to me, so I thought it was Kevin Spacey. I thought it was, what's his name?
But this is a perfect example of what I'm saying too. Is like, you were told there was a twist.
Oh, so there's two parts to this.
Okay.
Oh, let me back it up. There's two parts to this. I knew there was a twist. The whole time I'm scrutinizing and I'm questioning and I'm saying like, oh, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. I start to hone in on it as being Kevin Spacey because Kevin Spacey's the obvious weirdo and everything, whatever. So I just think
true.
I always think it's him.
But this was
so
the first
awesome.
time he was the weirdo.
And you want to know the other reason why I knew it was him was at first I knew it was him was because you don't call people rude names. Like they call him dumb and they call him like and all these things. And I was like, shut up. Like, stop calling him mean names. And I was like, he's got to come back and be like the bad guy. Like that was my hope.
Yeah, cripple, stupid.
Yeah, don't call him those things. So here's my thing with it though. Then when you get to like the reveal, like the clues of who it is, they have him placed in a way that it couldn't possibly be him. So in your mind as the audience, you rule him out because he's not on the barge and he's off the side.
Let me try to synthesize what you're saying. Are you saying that you don't like an unreliable narrative?
Right.
Narrator.
Yeah, thank
you. So when the narrator
lies
is a
to you.
liar. Like
Yes.
you don't like that. What
That
you
doesn't count as a
prefer
twist to me.
is sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand.
But it's not when the person leading you through the movie is just lying to your face.
That's not fair to me because I could lie. I could do anything.
That's an interesting way to draw the line.
Yeah.
That's an interesting line to draw. So unfortunately, my list has some straight up lying to your face.
And I don't like the lie to your face. To me, it has to be pure sleight of hand to be a real twist. Like I could say anything. You could make any movie a twist if you lie.
That's true. That's interesting.
So, yeah.
That's interesting. That's a
my
good way.
nuance.
Yeah, I was going to try to bring some new movies or movies that I've seen that maybe it's not of common, but then I realized if I said these movies have a twist, then it would just ruin the movie for you. And I'll tell you, I went a little bit. I also didn't want to include things where it was like I kind of did what Tim did with our last episode with animation was like, if I could take out the twist and it'd still be a good movie, like then I didn't want it to be. If it was just like a soap opera twist,
sure.
Again, I'll say Empire Strikes Back. Great twist that it's the dad, like Darth Vader is Luke's dad, sweet. But that's like the movie would still be awesome without that. So, all right, number 5 to you. I'm excited.
All right. There was something else. I don't know. So yeah. Oh, on a side note, I really liked The Usual Suspects.
Okay, good.
It's not on my list,
yeah,
but I really
you liked it. You
it.
did enjoy it.
I did.
It's funny because it's not the kind of movie I think that you normally would like.
Yeah, I know. I just enjoyed it for the time and whatever. It didn't make my list for that.
Because there's a lot of talking. There's a lot of talking.
I watched it in 3 parts. I dozed off a few times, but I came back. So number 5 for me is the 1995 flick Seven.
Oh, nice. It's on my honorable mentions.
Is it? So
yes.
I've mentioned this before. This is probably in my top 15 to 20 movies ever. Directed by David Fincher, written by Andrew Kevin Walker. 2 detectives, a rookie and a veteran, hunt a serial killer played by
Kevin Spacey.
And
well, this is why I said that this was like The Usual Suspects was his first, where you weren't going to expect that from him.
Sure.
Seven
Well,
is
this
now his
time
second.
he's the bad guy. He uses the 7. Wait, do you? Yeah, I think
again. I'm fine.
Okay,
this
we're
being
spoiling.
A spoiler. Like just know.
So who uses the 7 deadly sins as his modus operandi to go after? He's breaking down. He's a serial killer. So he's breaking down all these murders in a series of crimes. Stars Morgan Freeman, Gwyneth Paltrow, Brad Pitt, and Kevin Spacey. This is one of the epic ones of our time. So I think the twist.
One of my top movies of all time.
What's in the box, man?
Yeah.
I practiced that. Was that good?
That was actually pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That never would have expected that Gwyneth Paltrow's head was in the box.
Yeah.
Would you ever even seen that?
So this is interesting because this is a lot like what I said. Like if you pull out that scene, is it still a good?
I know.
So for me,
like
I had it on my honorable mention because it's just.
But did it make it a movie that you'll never forget? I mean, that was the cherry on the top.
Was Gwyneth Paltrow's head?
Gwyneth Paltrow's head.
With a pregnant Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, the pregnant was unfortunate, but that was
unfortunate.
Gwyneth
Paltrow otherwise totally fine.
I don't know.
Head on a pike, no problem.
But she, this was one that will stick with me forever, and I could watch over and over again too. Like this was a great movie. Acting, everything all together. This was a great movie.
And I should say, on my list, every single one of my picks is, except for one, is in the IMDb's top 200, and most of them are in the top 50.
Nice.
So
I think we're going to have a lot of overlap.
I think we're going to have some overlap, except for my number 5, which I'll move through quickly, is in fact The Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of my picks are going to be just chalk picks, is what they call them. Is like you just kind of expect them to be there, and because these are movies where like I absolutely fell for it. I'm pretty good at predicting it. Usual Suspects, Carrie talked about it, directed by Bryan Singer. I want to give writers credit in this series more than we usually do. Is Christopher McQuarrie, who I love as a writer, wrote this script and actually won, I believe, Best Original Screenplay along with Kevin Spacey for Best Supporting Actor. starring Kevin Spacey, Gabriel Byrne, Chaz Palminteri, Benicio del Toro, just doing something crazy with his accent, unintelligible, and
really
stealing every scene. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Stephen Baldwin and Kevin Pollak all giving great performances. A sole survivor tells the twisty events leading up to a horrific gun battle. And again, we find out later after the fact that the whole thing was just him babbling and just telling a story. In fact, Kaiser Sose, Kaiser meaning emperor or king in German, and then Sose in Turkish meaning person who talks too much. If you knew that in advance, you probably would have pieced together quickly that they were in fact talking about Kevin Spacey. But yeah, interesting twist, unreliable narrator. I allowed those to be in. Made for $6 million, gross $23 million. Listeners Jonathan Watkins, Lo Kong, Aaron Mullen all had this on their list. Streaming right now. You found it on Netflix, which is again why you picked it up. You're like, I'm going to watch this.
Have to watch it.
Have to watch it. I've never seen it. This is one, if you have not seen this movie,
you should see
and
it.
You're listening, I'm so
bad.
sorry.
Yeah, so sorry.
Still nonetheless,
just do fast forward blips.
Go check, yeah. Number 4 to you.
Number 4 for me is the 2014 flick Predestination.
My hands are up in the air. We have lined up
on a 4?
On 4
nice,
as well, too. Nicely done.
Thank you.
Boom.
Fist bump. Michael Spierig, directed and written.
Spierig brothers, right?
Yeah,
They're
I saw
bros.
that. Yeah. He also did The Undead, which I didn't see, but I think it was
Daybreakers.
Oh, yeah. He also did that.
With Ethan Hawke. Love it.
So I just saw this, watched it alone. I knew there were a bunch of twists, but the thing I liked about this one is, despite knowing that there were twists, I did not see that coming.
Who would see this coming?
I don't know.
And this is, out of all the movies, this is the one where I worry that people may have not seen this.
Let's not talk about the spoilers on this, because this is new enough.
Yeah, let's not talk about the spoilers.
Let's not do the spoiler on this.
Okay, good.
Let's pick and choose, because I think you can get by with 7. With this one, there's multiple spoilers throughout that even if you know there's spoilers, you're thinking, you don't see this coming. You don't, and everyone even said, you won't see this coming.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll see it coming. And I didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
Ever. For all of them. So anyway, multiple. Let me get back to, for his final assignment, a top agent must pursue the one criminal that has eluded him throughout time. The chase turns into a unique situation, and it turns into a surprising and mind-bending exploration of love, fate, identity, and time travel taboos. It stars Ethan Hawke, Sarah Snook, and Noah Taylor. I paused on Sarah Snook because I seriously thought that was Jodie Foster.
You thought it was Jodie Foster? I kind of think she looks a little like Emma Stone.
So, but Jodie Foster is a man. You'll know this once you start watching it. That's not a spoiler.
No.
There's a somebody who's gone through like a sex change operation early on, and you kind of know that it's...
Yeah, this movie is solid. I mean, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. IMDb gives it 7.5. It is. It's like really, it's one of these movies. I love time travel, and I love when people get time travel, at least from a philosophical perspective, correct in my mind. And this one did it. Like, it all made sense. I know we had a little bit of a debate after you saw this. Andrew Milne, Lamar, Andre Hawkins, and Kellen Rogenbach all had this.
Like this one?
I was surprised by how much love this movie got from our audience. I thought this was a very unknown movie. So for people to have this high on their list of top 5 twists speaks to it. Yeah. I feel, again, if we haven't spoiled it too much for you, on Amazon right now, $2.99. Click through the site, check it out.
Agreed. And yeah, I think it was worth seeing.
Number 3 for you.
Number 3 for me, think it'll be on your list, or it should be, is the 2010 film Shutter Island.
So, on my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we see this in... No, we saw this together
when we lived in
after,
Chicago.
not in theaters. I saw it in theaters originally.
Directed by Martin Scorsese, written by...
God, good pick.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I have like 3 episodes in a row or something like that right now.
Yeah, you're doing well.
Thank you. Written by, is it Leda Cal...
I have no idea.
I'm just going to say it slowly.
Okay.
Laeta Kalogridis.
Yeah,
Leota Kalogridis.
Saying it still helped, I think, for sure. Yeah.
Let me put it together. A U.S. Marshal, Teddy, and his partner Chuck travel to a secluded island home to a mental health facility called Shutter Island. Frightening as all heck. The reason for Teddy's arrival is to investigate the disappearance of a missing patient named Rachel. As Teddy and Chuck dive deeper into their investigation to find out where Rachel has gone, they reveal the dark secrets of Shutter Island. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Emily Mortimer, Mark Ruffalo's in it, and Ben Kingsley. There's some twists. This is another one where I kind of don't want to spoil, but if people, because it's not one that I know that everybody's seen. But this one in particular, the performances by Leonardo DiCaprio and really just the whole cast it's dark and really it's fast-paced and dark, and you have to kind of keep up with what's going on. But the twists in this, I didn't expect were coming. Did you?
It's a good movie.
It's really good.
Yes, again, full like it makes my honorable and it's surprising as I saw listeners and audience readers, listeners of the show, viewers of the show, all that write in. Like I keep forgetting how many great twists there are.
Yeah,
there are a lot of them which I've fallen hook, line, and sinker in for. That was a good movie. This
is one that's worth seeing. If you haven't seen it, catch it. It's worth seeing. It's dark. It's scary. It's a little bit scary in its darkness, but it's fun, and it will creep you out. I don't know. Good mind bender for sure.
No, very good. Number 3 for me. It is you have seen the remake, but you did not. I feel like I'm gonna. It's not on your list. I think you forgot about this. This is Old Boy.
I don't remember
the movie, though. This is 2003's, not the remake, but the original 2003's Old Boy. Nothing?
No. I think I fell asleep.
Is after being directed by Chen Woon Park, who also did The Handmaiden, which wasn't up for any awards. I guess South Korea did not send that movie as Best Foreign Picture nominee this year. But Old Boy gets 8.4 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes, 80%. Again, number 64 on IMDb's all-time movie list. After being kidnapped and imprisoned for 15 years, off the street, this guy gets plucked up and then thrown into a room for 15 years. You don't remember this?
No. I remember sort of. I remember the name of it. Was it subtitled?
No. Well, no. You've never seen the Korean version. You've seen the remade version starring Josh Brolin.
Oh, okay. I don't remember it.
And then he finally gets out.
Yeah.
And he wants revenge. Like, who the hell put me in a room for 15 years? I'm going to track this SOB down.
Yeah.
And then he finds like a friend to help him out, or like someone he bumps into at a restaurant, and like she's like a nurse or something like that. And they team up and they're tracking him down. He convinces her to help him out. And then finds the guy. He has a little bit of a love affair with the girl that he found. It's
his daughter.
It is in fact his daughter.
Oh,
do you remember this?
Guessed. No, I don't remember.
How do you not remember this?
I don't know. Again, I blocked those things out.
The remake isn't half bad, but like it just something about the original is just. When I saw it, I did not see that coming. They completely made you forget that he had a little girl like 15 years ago, and then the gut-wrenching reaction of the lead actor here is Min Sik Choi. I shouldn't even. I'm not even going to try.
Yeah.
It is intense. It is intense to see this transpire, and what a revenge story. Again, the director makes you feel like you're going revenge one way, but it comes to be a revenge story the other way.
Again, sleight of hand. That's sleight of hand.
Very good.
Yeah.
Listener Joe Litke recommended this as well too. Had this on his list. Streaming on Amazon right now for $2.99. So recommend checking it out. Number 2 for you.
I'm just gonna coast my way into the finish line here.
I think we're going to line up at least on one of these, on one of the top 2 here.
I would hope so.
Okay.
Gosh,
what do you got for me?
My second one, or my number 2, is the 2000 movie Memento.
On my honorable mentions. Did not make my list.
Holy moly! How did this not end up on your list?
It was hard. I struggled with a lot of my honorable mentions.
Oh gosh, you're wrong.
It's hard to pick some of these.
This is definitely your top 5 somewhere.
Yeah,
man.
probably. Honestly, I'd probably.
All that house cleaning you did today is like in the garbage.
See, this is kind of a little bit like an unreliable.
I don't think so
narrator.
at all.
He just doesn't. He doesn't know he's unreliable.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Very different than like placing a character in the wrong place to create confusion. It's very different. So anyway, it's also available on Netflix for free. Memento, directed and written by Christopher Nolan, who's always just really good. The plot of this chronicles 2 separate stories of Leonard, an ex-insurance investigator who can no longer build new memories, so he has like short-term amnesia, as he attempts to find the murder of his wife, which is the last thing he does remember. There's sort of this parallel story thing happening where one storyline moves forward in time while the other tells the story backwards, and then it sort of reveals more at each time. So you're sort of meeting the 2 stories in the middle to piece things together. I remember when you showed this to me, many years ago. It was probably in 2000, so it's probably like no, it wasn't.
No,
ago.
we did not know each other.
No, we didn't know each other. I didn't know you in 2000, did I?
You saw this much later, yeah.
No, I saw it like 2008.
Yeah, I saw it 8 years after it came out.
I remember it gets an 8.5 on IMDb. I remember at that time I had only seen a couple of like these twist movies. And is twist a genre? Because I think twist is one of my favorites of the genres.
No, I think it's like a mystery. It's a mystery.
I like
so mysteries
some
typically
mystery twist.
have mystery by definition like would have a twist, I guess. Or like
this has
surprise.
always been. I always talk about this movie to people as being one where if you like a good twist movie, it's one that you should see. Did not see the storyline unfolding and coming together as it did. So if you've missed it, it's free. And would love to.
No, it's a great movie.
It's excellent.
Yeah,
would love to hear what people think about it.
Number 2 for me, I went a different direction. I mean, again, I should probably just not have. I should probably not allow movies that are my favorite movies of all time to make lists anymore.
You took my number 1.
No, Fight Club. This is.
Oh, good.
I don't think Fight Club. It's worthy. It's worthy.
It's not my number.
This
one.
is my number 2. 2 hour 19 minutes. IMDb gives it 8.8. Number 10 all time on IMDb. Directed by David Fincher. Written by Chuck Palahniuk. Probably mispronounced his name. Starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, Helena Bonham Carter, Meat Loaf, sweet, and Jared Leto. Everybody knows this movie.
Who was Jared Leto in that?
He played Angel Face, whose face was not very angelic after Edward Norton finished.
Beat him up?
Yeah, after Edward Norton finished with him.
I remember that.
Yeah, young Jared Leto. Kind of early on. Right before David Fincher then did, I think, Panic Room with Jodie Foster, and then Jared Leto played a more formidable character there, had a little bit more notoriety there. Streaming on Amazon for $2.99. I won't talk about it too much because everybody knows it, but boy, this is again. So does this fall not in your it's cut from your list because of the unreliable narrator? Like again, he doesn't know he's unreliable. Just like Shutter Island.
I think it's like Memento-ish.
Memento-ish, yeah.
It would make my list. It's just not one of my top 5 favorites.
It's credit to the writer, but also credit to the director for. It's not like they're hiding it necessarily. Like if you go back and you rewatch, it is clear.
I don't discredit delusion.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Delusion fits.
It's when you're being lied to by the main character.
Yeah.
That's what
Agreed.
you're.
The narrator, like you said, it's the narrator lying to you. Yeah.
So, but not knowingly, right? Like that,
Right.
you're okay with that. So yeah, this is just great. Just great. A great movie. My favorite movie of all time.
It's like 95% of dudes' favorite movies.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And it hit me at the right time. We've talked about this when movies hit you at the right time in your life. 1999, impressionable high school, kind of person thinking about philosophy and stuff like that. So yeah, I won't talk too much about it. But number 1 on your list.
They're the same.
I think we're going to line up. There's no doubt.
They have to.
It has to be. It's the best twist movie
of all time. For me.
Yeah.
So this movie made, if you listen back to our episode 2, it might not be 2, but it was our top movies of all time.
Mine's not on mine.
It was on mine.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So this was where we had to pick our top 5 movies that we've ever seen in our entire lives. So this was closely related to Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, is the 1999 film The Sixth Sense.
We line up, as we should.
And so I felt guilty about picking it, and then I was like, what,
it's an obvious choice, right?
It's an obvious choice, and so that's why it made me feel guilty. But then at the same time, I was like, stay pure to just because something is awesome doesn't mean and everybody thinks it's awesome doesn't mean you can't like it. And that is why this is in my top 5 movies of all time, so it just had to naturally fall to number 1. Directed and written by M. Night Shyamalan. I just, even typing and thinking about this movie again, I just thought how well this was done.
He reinvented the whole twist. I think twists were a thing, but not until he came around. This was done like no other. And again, he did a great job. If you go back, there are signs, no pun intended.
Right.
He does little cues like there's.
Is that because he did the movie Signs?
Yes, he did the movie Signs.
Good
Thank
one.
you. Yeah. There's presence of red when there are people who are dead around.
Well, no, it's the breathing. Right.
Well, there's that, but he also literally when he first meets. And he's looking right at him.
You mean Haley Joel Osment?
When Haley Joel Osment meets Bruce Willis, and he says, "I see dead people," and then it does like a zoom in, right on,
I know. You don't have to tell me.
I know, but if you're looking again, if you want to see it, it is there. In fact, some producers, after seeing the script and knowing the script, went back and were like, "Oh, this is too obvious." But only when you know it.
Only when you know.
Yeah, I get
then chills
it is obvious. But
about it.
Man,
so since everybody's seen this, a boy who communicates with spirits that don't know they're dead yet seeks the help of a disheartened child psychologist who's dead. I mean, he's dead. So
his prior patient who had experienced the same thing has apparently killed him. You don't know.
It gets an 8.1 on IMDb. It's Bruce Willis, Haley Joel Osment, and Toni Collette. I was so baffled. I saw it in theaters. I was so baffled when this was over. That was and this is the other thing. This was my first twist. And you always have a love for your first twist. I had never seen a twist movie before, and this was it. And I was shocked. I mean, I just never saw it, and it was pure sleight of hand, and it still, despite being, it crossed so many genres of movies. I mean, it was a love story. Then it was like,
horror
it forced you, it was horror, it was
Yeah.
love story, it was all these things, it was thriller. The whole thing then made you, once you understood what was happening, it was almost like you had to go back and think about the whole movie with a different lens. So you had to come back and be like, now that I know he's gone, I have to think about it as the love story of a woman who's lost her husband. And there was just...
Yeah, Olivia Williams, I had to go back and I didn't just pull her name out of a hat. Like, I went back and just looked right now because I did want to give her credit. Like, her acting as though he's not there. Like, you think she's just an upset wife or, like they're on the way out. Like, her having you think she's having an affair. You're mad at her.
Yeah,
like,
he leads you to believe
goes
that.
to the anniversary dinner. So she's dining alone.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
she
tragic.
grabs the check. He goes to grab the check, and she pulls it away
Right.
and doesn't pay for it. And then when they replay the whole thing and you see how it played out, you realize again that you were fooled as the audience. And I think that's so hard to do, and yet...
You think it could be done
it's awesome.
In today's day and age with like social media and everything? Could a movie like this exist where it's kept a secret? Because in 1999, like I went into this cold. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I only had a bag phone in 1999. It was
Right.
People were like,
I don't know.
posting these
I mean,
things.
I realize like twist movies exist, but I feel like you can get it spoiled, like with things like this show.
Yeah,
where,
sorry.
Yeah, where you find out. I mean, made for $40 million, grossed $300 million. Put M. Night Shyamalan on the map. Went on to do, some other good
other
things,
but
some
never
not
as
so
good
good
at
things,
this.
never as good. And then I know we have not seen his latest, which I'm interested in seeing.
Which is, you don't know.
Oh, I'm
You can
blanking
tell
on
by
it
your
now.
face.
Yeah, it just like occurred to me that I'm blanking on it. It's like I want to
We
say
saw that
something
one
with
with
S.
the grandparents,
Yes, The Visit.
and you liked that better than I did. That was a little twisty
Something
and
with
weird,
multiple
but
personalities. Why am I blanking on the name?
Split.
Split. Thank you. Whoa. Yes.
I read Tim's review
Nice.
Thanks.
I have not because I
on
didn't want to be spoiled.
www.alternateending.com.
I was going to mention some other movies honorable mention, but I'm going to skip those. We'll move right into to Tim's.
Okay.
Tim's picks. How's that sound?
Do we line up?
On
all of them?
No. Number 5 for Tim was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, 1920. So apparently they were doing 20.
I forgot
the
that one.
Yeah.
Shoot.
The one you saw in F school, film school. Tim and I line up here. Number 4, Old Boy,
Okay.
2003. This was cut from my list. Empire Strikes Back. Yes, I obviously know like it's a big moment in that in the film franchise when that reveal happens, but it didn't stand up to me. The Sting, 1973 is The Sting for number 2.
My mom liked that
She
one.
did. Yes, she did. She actually got
She
some
was
love.
like, I can't believe you guys haven't seen that.
Yeah, we need
Losers.
to go see
She
that.
said loser.
And then number 1 for Tim, 1960s Psycho. And
I do love
a lot of
Psycho.
people think that maybe Tim wanted me to clarify this. He's specifically referring to not the fact that Norman Bates
Mom's dead.
is his mom. It's that the fact that Alfred Hitchcock, again, back to Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock leads you down this path a third of the way through the movie, that it is a bank heist following this main actress, and then all of a sudden, switch, it is a completely different movie.
That was a good movie.
So to take you through a third, it's just unheard of. So those were Tim's picks. How about
Wait,
our
that was
audience?
5?
No, number 1. I was going 5 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Psycho was number 1.
Got it.
Audience picks. Every episode, we randomly select one member of our audience who shared their top movie picks. Here are audience choices. We had a tie for number 5 with Planet of the Apes, Unbreakable, Primal Fear, Psycho, and Angel Heart. I have seen all but Angel Heart in that list. Surprise at number 4, again, just for all the love, Predestination. So a little bit more well seen than I had anticipated. Number 3, Usual Suspects. Number 2, Fight Club, right on. And lining up for me, I got 4 out of the top 5 here. I'm very excited lining up with the audience. Number 1, of course, Sixth Sense.
Yeah, has to be.
Has to be. Our lucky winner, and I'll say winners this time, Yeah, Kay Fredericks, your mom.
That's my
actually
mom.
won. Yes, she did.
Oh, I'm glad.
But I felt bad, like, that the audience may feel like we try to do
Little
something
nepotism.
there, little nepotism there.
Oh, but my mom likes to win. She'll
so
say
she
that
will-
when we started all this like a year ago, she's like, if I ever win, I don't need to get the movie. Don't worry.
But then I felt like by not having her, then I feel like I
Well,
was.
yeah, you got to give her.
I was
I'm
cheating
saying
too.
she wants the
So
movie.
instead, we
She's just saying
decided
that to be nice.
we will award 2 people. So also winning was audience member goes by the name Yourself on alternateending.com. Yourself picked Planet of the Apes. So Kay and Yourself, shoot us an email at contact@alternateending.com for details on how to claim your free movie rental. If you want to win a free movie rental like Kay or Yourself, be on the lookout for our spoiler alert episodes or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter. Share your favorite picks. In closing, just want to thank everybody for listening. Check us out on social media, Facebook page. Go out there, like it, Twitter. Follow us there. We're posting updates on what movies Tim has reviewed, as well as when our spoiler alert top 5 free rental movie picks are going out there. Go to alternating.com, check that out. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google or wherever you find podcasts. That way you can get automatic downloads of our movies. Tune in for our next show, Kara. A little bit of a surprise here for you. We're going to be doing a spoiler alert. You talk so highly, and I was so offended that you watched I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
Is that what we're spoiling?
We are going to spoil that movie. It is, folks of the show, this is your chance. It's available for free on Netflix. Most people have Netflix these days. Go check out this movie.
So good.
We're all going to talk about it. I have not seen it yet. Carrie has seen it. Tim has not seen it. We're going to spoil this. We're going to give this the treatment that Carrie thinks that it deserves. So looking forward to that next week, guys.